Welcome to this demo on Pebblo, where we will see how enterprises with data in Snowflake can build identity-enabled AI applications with data governance and safety guardrails. This is one of the most sought-out features requested by our enterprise users. Let's dive in. Snowflake is one of the most popular data warehouse/data lake platform supporting many large enterprises. It is used to store data for business functions like operations, finance, and HR. We are going to illustrate the solution using an HR employee survey use case where data gather needs to be allowed only to the right constituents based on their identity. We are introducing an easy to adopt solution where authorization information is available in one of the columns as metadata, and Pebblo is enhanced to make use of it for identity enforcement. As you see here, LangChain Snowflake Loader wrapped with Pebblo Safe Loader is used to load data into the Postgres database with pgvector. Let's look at the data in Snowflake and the ingestion process and come back here to discuss the rest of the flow. Let's look at the Snowflake account and see how the data is stored. Here is the database, schema, and tables. Let's look at the survey table, which has the typical columns you would find in a survey. And here is the auth info that holds the authorized information. Let's look at the actual data itself. Here are rows with different survey results entered by the employees. It has free format text and some specific details about different attributes of a survey. Let's look at the auth info and see what we have captured here. Here, each of the row has the Active Directory user ID of the manager that the employee reports to, and also the AD group holding the identities of the HR leader. This way, the survey results can be accessed by both the immediate manager and the broader executive group. Note, the executive group is listed in all the entries here, which allows them to view the results across all the managers. Here is the Pebblo Safe Loader code, which wraps the Snowflake loader. And as discussed, now we are grabbing the auth info as one of the metadata, and it is used and absorbed as the authorized identities by the Pebblo layer, as with few lines of code change in the Pebblo RAG application. Now let's start the ingestion process. The loading is completed. All the 100 rows are ingested into the Postgres, and it has gathered the different authorized identities that was there in that auth info column. And of course, it has captured some of the things that the topic classifier of Pebblo has picked up, and also some entities that might have thrown in the text. Now let's look at the Postgres database and see how the embeddings are stored. So all the data that got ingested is now in the Postgres database. And I would point out some of the authorized entities that we add in Snowflake is actually now stored as metadata in the VectorDB, which is in the format that Pebblo expects that we'll be using in the retrieval side. Now that the VectorDB has the Snowflake survey data and the authorized identities as metadata in each embeddings, the Pebblo Safe Retriever can take care of the rest. As we will see in the demo, the different managers can log in and prompt similar or even same prompt related to employee engagement and feedback, and they would get a different response from the RAG application that are based only on their employees. We will also see an HR executive use the app to understand the overall employee feedback across all survey results. All this is achieved by smart filtering by the Pebblo Safe Retriever using the user's Active Directory identity. Note, Pebblo Server continues to run in the background to provide semantic guardrails and dashboard for observability. Now let's start the employee survey Streamlit application. Now let's log in as one of the managers. As you can see, we have logged in as one of the users. And note this user doesn't have the executive authorized group. Let's try one of the prompts related to employee engagement. In this case, I'm asking how does the employee feel about the management and share some positive and negative opinions. In this case, it will answer based only on this manager's employees, reports, and results. As you can see, the results are quite positive in this case. So the feedback is in general quite supportive of the leadership of this user. Again, this is based on the survey results of this particular manager. Now let's see the same prompt, how the same prompt comes for another manager. Here we are logged in as another manager. Again, same as before, there is no executive authorized groups here. Let's try the same prompt about employee engagement, overall, how the employee feels about the management, positive, negative opinions for this particular manager. And here, as you can see, it's the results show the same prompt for this manager gives a fairly drastically different opinion about the leadership of this user, this manager. Again, all this based on the employee feedback given for this particular manager's direct reports. Now let's try the application as an HR executive and see how the application behaves. In this case, as you notice, this user does have the executive role, which means it would this user will have access to all the entries. And since there are some feedback around return to office, let's try this prompt that's there. This is asking about the return to office policy that was recently introduced. As you can see, there are some negative response or sentiments around the return to office based on across all the employees here. And now let's try another prompt at a slightly higher level prompt, where here I'm asking about the culture and work-life balance. As you can see, again, it extracts the relevant information across all managers, in this case, across all organizations, and provides the best answer. And this is how you can introduce identity with the same application using the data that's stored in structured data stores like Snowflake. Here are some key takeaways from this demo. While previous Pebblo demos showed how to use unstructured data like PDFs and Word documents, this solution demonstrates how Pebblo can be also used for use cases requiring structured data. Another important aspect of the solution is it slides into your existing identity infrastructure that's already in place in the enterprise. As you saw, if you have an Active Directory currently in place, the solution would work. Also, we would like to extend this solution on the Snowflake front to make use of the data governance features of Snowflake, like column and row level security and tagging. We would love to hear your feedback if you're interested in any of these Snowflake features that you would like to see in this solution. Thanks for watching the demo. For more information, visit daxa.ai/Pebblo.